This is what fall looks like in Portland. So the car is really dirty right now. I've been driving it to work a few times a week, and as you can see, all of this is just adding up. And yeah, it's a little embarrassing to see it like this. It's literally everywhere, but it's just how it goes. And yeah, as I'm standing here, it started pouring down outside. It's kind of nice. Look at that. Just a nice chill Sunday in my garage, and we're gonna be changing the oil on the car. And that actually brings me on to why I wanted to make today's video. So no, this is not gonna be a tutorial or anything like that. There's a bunch of videos out there on how to change your oil. I wanted to just give you guys my input and experience with the Motul X Clean EFE. So I've never used this type of oil before. I consider it expensive, and I didn't think it was necessary for what I use the car for, which is literally daily driving. So I've been seeing this oil a lot on the forums. I guess it's very, very popular, and so I just wanted to give it a shot and see if I notice a difference with the car. I know some people are gonna say oil is oil, and that might be true, but we'll just have to try this out and see for ourselves. So it's been about 3,000 miles since the last oil change, and I usually change it at around 3,000 to 3,500 mile intervals, so it is time. And according to my records, I haven't changed the oil since February of 2021. So I've been on the same oil for nearly 11 months. No! So it's probably a good idea to change it anyway. I just rarely drive the car due to working from home and stuff like that. And also I have the Legacy, which is right there, which I use as a daily driver and go places like that. So I normally just use the Subaru synthetic oil, but I decided to switch it up a bit and try Motul. I've had absolutely zero issues with the Subaru oil, and it's been great for nearly 30,000 miles now. And wow, I can't believe the car is 30,000 miles already. But the main reason I use it is because it's cheap and super easy to get, and honestly, the car likes it. Like I said, I haven't seen any issues with it, and it's been great for nearly 4 years of ownership with this car. And this took way longer than expected to arrive. I waited nearly a month for it to ship in due to the delays with the postal service and stuff like that. But besides that, the reason I wanted to try Motul is because everyone recommends this specific oil for the direct injected FA20 motor, and it's very popular in the Subaru community, so I wanted to see what it was all about. And keep in mind that there is Motul XS and Motul X Clean, so please do your research on what's best for your motor. This is obviously the X Clean EFE 530, and I use 530 because it doesn't get too hot here in Portland, and we are approaching the winter months, so this is actually perfect for it. And another thing to keep in mind, this actually confused the hell out of me. This measurement is in liters, not quarts. So this is 1 quart, and this is 1 liter. So 1 liter is equal to 1.05 quarts. So please note the differences. And I've seen a lot of folks just stick to the 5 liter one right here, and 5 liters is equivalent to around 5.2 quarts. But as we all know, according to the manual, an oil change with an oil filter change will require around 5.4 quarts. So one of these is a little too short, and a lot of folks say it's fine to just get the 5 liter jug, but I decided to get an additional liter just to be extra sure I have enough oil, and it's good to have just in case you want to top off, you know, if your car burns oil and stuff like that. And as far as the oil filter, I just use the OEM one right here. Again, it's cheap, it's widely available, and absolutely zero issues since the car is brand new. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as you can see, I am under the car, and since I do have this TBW skid plate, I'll have to use this 10mm socket to remove this nut right here, which should give us access to the Fumoto drain valve just right behind this door. So let's go ahead and do that. Set that aside, door comes right off. And then just under here is the Fumoto drain valve. All right, so you guys can't see it from here, but there is this clip on the Fumoto drain valve. Kind of just locks it in place, and you just want to take that out. That way you can pull the handle down and the oil will start to drain. So I know it's a little counterproductive if I have to use this just to remove the skid plate cover, but hey, it is what it is. At least the tools will stay clean just since I do have that valve. So let's go ahead and start draining this thing. All right, so we're just gonna let that drain for a few minutes right there. So I've had the Fumoto valve since the very first oil change, and it's never given me any issues. And I honestly think it's one of the best investments that you can get for the car. It just makes everything easy and clean, and I can't say enough good things about them. So we're just gonna let that drain for a few minutes. So while that is draining, I like to make it a good habit to check the catch cans. These catch cans are from a company called ADDW1. They're not really known in the market, but I got a good deal on these and they seem to have worked. So I have both PCV and CVC side. That's what they mean by dual catch cans, meaning you have 1 and 2 catch cans. So this one always seems to have the blow by. That one usually is dry, but since I recently emptied this out, I'm just gonna look in there to see if there's anything that I can drain. Honestly, it's not that much of a hassle if you have catch cans. I know some people prefer air oil separators, but I like the catch cans. So let's go ahead and look in there to see if there's any blow by. All right, so I'm gonna put it next to the light, and as you can see, there's a little bit in there, but this thing prevented this from going back into your engine. So I think it's a good idea to have one. And again, I recently emptied this out, so it's working. So I'm just gonna drain that out, wipe it clean, slap it back on there, and then I'll check the other side. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and remove the oil filter. And they made this one so easy. Let's take this oil cap off. So what I like to do while the drain valve is still open is to pour some of the new oil through the engine. That way it gives it a chance to push out as much of the old oil as possible. I don't know if that's actually really necessary, but that's how I've always done the oil changes, and it's been working so far. So let's go ahead and do that. Got the new filter right here. Just gonna pour a little bit of oil in there, just enough. All right. Put some oil around the O-ring. So now that I put some oil in there, I'm gonna go ahead and close up the Fumoto valve and get the skid plate cover back on. So we just finished the oil change and not a drop of oil was spilled. The car started up just fine. It didn't blow up or anything. So I'll just have to see how I like this oil, and I might just have to keep getting it, to be honest. Again, do not get it confused. This one is the 8100 X Clean EFE. There is a bunch of other Motul oils out there, but this is the one that was highly recommended for the FA20 motor. A lot of folks say that their car runs quieter and smoother with Motul, but I like to challenge that and see for myself. I don't typically buy into the hype of anything, but since my car needed an oil change, I decided to check this out. And before I wrap up today's video, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the returning subscribers. Thank you guys for always watching and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I promise I got more new stuff coming. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out today's video. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Sunday. If you made it this far through the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out out with me on this fine Sunday. As always, I will see you guys in the next one.